What up, bros? Bram back with another video, and of course today we're talking about the Into the Void patch 1.0.5. We got ourselves a massive patch, possibly the biggest patch we've seen yet for New World. And today I kind of want to just quickly browse through the notes and kind of highlight some of the more impactful changes that are happening. Let's jump right into it. Of course, starting us off, we got the Void Gauntlet being introduced into the game. Many of you know about that, and we obviously have the Knights as well being introduced, a new enemy. We got some big changes to world experience, and let's go over these one by one. Okay, we got the added starter zone visual variety and improvements. Okay, we got some visual improvements. Ezra's Forge has been updated and moved from Aryan Temple to Southwest Windsor. Interesting. Run faster on roads. Big one here, boys. Run faster on roads. While running on roads, you will now receive a movement speed buff. It's going to be a 10% while traveling on roads. The move speed bonus will not trigger unless the player has been running for 3 seconds and they are on a road. The movement speed will be cancelled if a player engages in combat in any way such as dodging, blocking, attacking, or being hit with a debuff. So basically, this is like a buff to people traveling around in medium armor and heavy armor, because it's still probably going to be slower if you're in light armor. If you're in light armor with like the bow movement speed perk or the musket movement speed perk, you're definitely going to be traveling faster in this. And it's also a buff to auto running, right? Like if you have a straight shot from point A to point B, you can just hit your auto run key. For me, it's numlock, and just, get there a little bit quicker than you would if before this buff. Okay, and it says the move speed bonus is not active while players actively engaged in wars, outpost rush, or duels. Okay, another huge change here, guys. Check this out. Added a 10% luck bonus and a 30% gathering luck bonus to players flagged for PvP. They're definitely trying to incentivize flagging for PvP while out in the open world. They want to see more open world PvP content, more people actively fighting in the open world. Big change, big change. It's going to be worth it. 10% luck is a lot for regular looting luck, and 30% gathering luck. Man, if you're a Void War farmer, you're always going to want to be flagged now. All right, we got some bug fixes. Okay, we got some changes to the quests. New PvP faction missions added. We got control points, which is going to be to seize control of a fort. That's a sweet quest. I love that they're doing that. You have intercept, defeat enemy faction members, and collect their tiers, which is kind of funny. You have the war camp loot, retrieve hidden plans at the enemy's war camp. Okay, so they're trying to make the PvP faction missions more diverse, so you're not doing the same thing over and over again when you're trying to push territory control. We've updated several quests in the main storyline to improve the player experience with more compelling dynamics, including wave encounters, destructible objects, and proximity tracking nodes. Oh, cool. So there's some changes to the questing experience in New World. Definitely nice. Updated the location of one of the Survivalist Wolf Den quests in First Light to reduce the amount of travel. The encounter design has also been updated to Waves event in all 3 starter zones. Nice. Then we got some bug fixes. Got some World Tech bug fixes. We can quickly go through them. Fixed an issue causing certain AI to spawn more frequently than intended. Fixed various issues that could occur when interacting with the journal entries scattered across the world. Fixed an issue with town projects boards for failing to refresh. PvP experience bonus will no longer apply when in an expedition. Okay. Then we got a combat and AI changes. We got bug fixes, and we got gear perks. Okay. Increased scaling of leeching perks on rings and weapons from a range of 0.5% to 1.5% damage converted to health on hit to a range of 1% to 5%. This is a massive buff to leech, guys. Massive buff to leech. Imagine you're in a war, you're low HP, and you, of course, I'm going to use a bow as an example because I'm a bow player. You do a dodge roll, penetrating shot through a group of enemies, crits all of them for like 6k each. You hit like 4 or 5 people, and you're rolling 5% leech on each one of those hits. That's gonna nearly full heal you guys. Keep this in mind. This is actually a massive change, and leeching is definitely something not to scoff at for any content in New World now. Increase the efficiency of the freedom, vigor, and invigorate debuff reduction perks from a range of 3 to 5% based on gear score to a range of 3 to 8%. So a little buff to the freedom, vigor, and invigorate. Now with 5 pieces, you're going to have 40% instead of 25%, if my math is correct there. So pretty fat buff. 40% reduction to slows, stuns, and silences with freedom. Kind of crazy. Keep your eye on that for PvP, guys. This is another big one. Decrease the cooldown of the Keen Speed perk, which grants haste on critical hits, from 10 seconds to 5 seconds, and increased haste duration from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. See, now this perk is starting to become a real, guys. This perk is starting to become a real consideration for best in slot for some weapons, guys. This perk, already before the nerf, I thought it was kind of sleeper. But now, after this change, you guys got to understand how fast. I believe I read it somewhere. Decrease cooldown. I believe they changed it to. Oh yeah, no. It's still 30%. It's always been 30%. So it's 30% movement speed for 3 seconds, with only a 5-second internal cooldown. If you have trouble sticking to your targets as a melee player, think about this perk, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Just keep it in mind. This is gonna help you. Increase the poison, bloodletting, burning, crippling, enfeebling, and infected effect duration on ring perks from a range of 3 to 7% to a range of 5 to 15%. So what I'm starting to see a little pattern here. They're trying to increase the amount of variability in the different perks people are running instead of having like a solid meta. They're trying to flip it on us. So it's not just straight keen awareness for every single person wearing a ring. Makes sense. Trying to make some of the other effects have more value. Interesting. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. I would still run keen awareness over any single one of these, even if I was using multiple of these in my build. But maybe with a 600 legendary, you pick up like a poisoning or a bloodletting with the keen awareness. We'll see. Okay, then we got the equip load. Increase the healing bonus of the light equip load from 20% to 30%, and increase the healing bonus for medium equip load from 10 to 15%. So this is paired with the change that they did to the life staff. So let me pull up the life staff change specifically real quick. Just pair this. They should have those right next to each other so you can see. Reduced base healing by 20% across the board to account for the increase in healing from the equip load. So they increased all healing by reduced all healing by 20%, and then buffed specifically medium and light. So this is a nerf to heavy, right? 20% healing reduction to heavy. And then to make up for that, they increased the bonus of light equip load from 20 to 30. So a 10% nerf to light, and increased the healing bonus from medium from 10 to 50. Interesting. So definitely a healing nerf. So this is let's see, 10% healing nerf to life, to light, and 15% healing nerf to medium. Yep. 20%, 20, 15, 10 nerfs, guys. 20% nerf to heavy, 15% nerf to medium, 10% nerf to light. Pretty sure I got my math right there, guys, but it's a 20% reduction overall, and then they increased light by 10 and increased medium by 5. So yeah, should be right. Got some navigation updates. We're just gonna go ahead and skip over a lot of those. It looks like it's just fixing a lot of bugs, stuff like that. Duels, exploit fix. Attribute threshold bonus. Okay, reduce the damage reduction provided by the 250 con bonus from 80 to 60%. A couple bug fixes. We got a bunch of dodge bug fixes. War. Structures are now immune to buffs and debuffs that logically wouldn't affect the siege weapon and deployable structures. Disabled player collision on inferno traps due to players occasionally getting stuck on them. Made it so player can't deal damage to other players with weapon abilities through fort gates and war camp gates. Okay. Outpost rush. Here we go. This is a big one. Reduce the power of battle bread from 15% damage and defense to 5% damage and defense. Massive nerf to battle bread, huh? Reduce the damage reduction on the Baroness buff from 25% to 15%. I like that change. That Baron buff made you pretty much unkillable. Reduce the damage and defense on the Commander tent from 7.515 to 369. Okay. So definitely people are definitely gonna be more killable in Outpost Rush, right? Like if you had all 3 of these buffs rolling, you just weren't dying, period. Got some notable bug fixes. A little backstab. We got a backstab, a block, and a cooldown timer. Bug fix. Fixed an issue where various passives and perks cooldown timers were being removed when swapping weapons or equipping gear. Okay. Fixed a bug that caused some weapon mastery passives that state they trigger on block to trigger against unblockable attacks. And fixed a bug that could cause backstab to trigger when attacking players from the front. Okay, interesting. And then we have all the Warhammer changes, life staff changes, hatchet changes, of course. Got the great axe changes, some bow changes, some sword changes, fire staff changes, spear changes, ice gauntlet changes, rapier changes, musket changes. Okay, I'm sure you guys have all seen all that stuff, so we're just gonna kind of skip past that. We're trying to dive into the more unknown changes coming out here, guys. Okay, over to general AI. We have new AI enemies, new lost enemies. Withered Swarmancer, Withered Beetle, Lost Shaman, Lost Alligator Pet. We have an Ancient Guardian and a Skeleton Mage. We have Corrupted Villager updates. The strong Corrupted Laborer has put down his pickaxe and picked up some weights, now looking larger than ever. Villagers have had their attack sets reviewed and reworked to better differentiate them. Cool. We got some bug fixes and AI tuning. Quickly just skim through this, see if there's anything insane. Fixed an issue that caused health pots to generate threat. Interesting. Fixed an issue where AI could sometimes get pushed to invalid areas, causing them to die. Definitely experienced that on accident a few times. Okay. Added hit volumes at the feet of all brute enemies to assure attacks from players more consistently register. Elite affixes. Just a bunch of bug fixes, it looks like. Ancient Mage no longer immune to stun. Dryad Archer's leaping spread shot should now more consistently hit the player. It's a lot of bug fixes on a lot of the mob types. Okay, expeditions. We have Amrine. We got Simon Gray. Adjusted Simon's affixes to always be the same static effects between each spawn. Fixed an issue causing him to not pause summoning minions after all of his minions are killed. We have Foreman Nakashima. Adjusted Nakashima's affixes to always be the same static effects between each spawn. Got some death bug changes. Dynasty. Isabel's pets in Dynasty. Empress. We got Garden. Fixed an issue causing... Okay, first boss Guardian in Garden, Alluvium Marl. Fixed an issue causing his minions to be level 57 instead of 66. And then fixed an issue causing Alluvium's dive attack to sometimes deal no damage. Interesting. They nerfed the end boss of Garden a little bit. Reduced damage of Siren's Scream by 15%. The arena bosses fixed an issue that allowed Avarice's minions to drop loot. Banes reduced the model size of Banes. Okay. Over to economy, progression, and loot. You now can change faction every 6 days, down from 120. Look at this, guys. Listen, if you've been falling asleep at me mumbling over here, check this out. Added the item Chunk of Consecrated Iron to the top rank of the faction shop for all factions. Chunks of Consecrated Iron are used to craft the Resilient perk for armor items. This is insanely massive, guys, especially for all you crafters out there. If you have your 3 major trophies as an armorer, get ready to make a lot of coin. All of the PvP players or just people that want to be more tanky in any of the content in New World are going to buy Resilient gear big time. They will pay a premium for this perk. Start pumping out gear with the Resilient perk on it now that you have Chunk of Consecrated Iron. Or just sell the Chunk of Consecrated Iron yourself. If you just want to buy it from the faction shop, put it on the trading post, you're gonna make a lot of coin that way. Insane changes, guys. Okay, And then we have the trading post linked. We got some progression changes. Reduce territory standing gains from cooking. Interesting. Increased XP requirements for progressing. Yep, we got the crafting trade skills nerf, and we know about that, guys. Potion crafting update. They added the resource for it. Got some changes to the rare resources from gathering nodes. Loot rewards. Added several new named items as special drops from named knights. Yeah, okay. And then all the stuff involving the knights, basically. Then we got a bunch more bug fixes. We have some UI and social changes. Some notable bugs. Okay, and then the last things we have here are fixed an issue where chests in Lazarus Instrumentality and Garden of Genesis were not properly contributing to the high watermark system. This is an insane change, guys. This increases the value of those Garden of Genesis and Lazarus Instrumentality keys massively. Like, probably doubles the value of them. Those chests are going to increase your watermark so fast now. Get into those expeditions, get your watermark up, guys. It's going to be the best way to get your watermark up now, by far, is to just spam expeditions, most likely. Depending on how they go about the tuning orb changes, I've heard that they might put a weekly cooldown on the crafting the tuning orbs, which would actually be a pretty massive nerf, and it wouldn't be very good for the health of the game. But anyways, fixed issues preventing gear score 600 Arcana weapons from being crafted. That is great. Arcana has been pretty trolled up to this point. Tier 5 weaponsmithing pants now drop from the named enemy Entropy, which enables players to complete their full set of weaponsmithing apparel. And then we have the increased coin gained from expedition bosses starting in Starstone by 25%, and ramping up to end game expedition bosses granting an additional 100%. So I believe, if my math is correct here, the level 60 expeditions were giving you 144 coin per boss, so now it should be 288 coin per boss, giving you right around 600 coin per run just off of the boss kills, not including all the all the gear you'll be able to sell and salvage. So interesting. But that is everything we got for the patch today, guys. It is about to drop any minute now. Get out there, explore some of these changes. Let me know some of the things you guys are more excited about from these patch notes. And as always, if you enjoy my content, please hit that like and subscribe button. And follow me over at twitch.tv/BrandTVX, where I stream almost every day. I'll probably be live right now. Peace, guys.